to divide it using the long division method really helps. Okay, so in this class, we're looking at converting fractions to decimal. And to convert fraction to decimal, we divide. We divide using the long division method. So we use the long. There are about two methods that we can use. So let's take this using the long division method. Take the first one method using the long division method. Okay, so we have an example here. Example example one. Example one is for us to they ask what is the decimal of this fraction? What is the decimal? What is the decimal of 5? Yes, what is the decimal of 5 all over 8? Okay, the decimal of 5 all over 8. So um, let us solve this. If you punch your calculator, if you use your calculator, if you are writing Baker exams and they allow you to go in with calculator, you just use your calculator and punch 5 over 8. It will give you an answer. You write it down as a decimal. But if you are not allowed to use calculator, so that's when we need to show working. And in my classwork and my assignments, I don't want you to use calculator to solve for me. So that's when you go to long division method to solve. And in long division method, what we're going to do is simple. Um, just put your division sign. Then, which number from which of them will be between the numerator and the denominator? Which one will be inside here? Which one is a dividend? Which number will be inside? Who knows? In numbers, we always have what we call dividend, and we have divisor. Dividend is the number that we are always to divide. Dividend is always the number we are to divide to share with. Okay, so among these two numbers now, 5 numerator and denominator, which one is the dividend? Which one are we dividing? Who knows?
5.
Moses, is that you?
Yes, sir.
5.
Nora, which one are we dividing?
5.
Dividing 8.
Yeah, someone is saying 8. That person, is that Ibrahim all the way?
Ibrahim.
Ibrahim says we are dividing 8. Okay. Zoe, what are we dividing?
I can't see the question.
The fraction 5 over 8. Which one are we dividing? Okay, guys. What we are dividing is always 5 over.
I divided 8.
Okay. Okay, this I have two fractions here, 5 over 8 and 12 over 2. In all fractions, we are always dividing the numerator. Numerator is always our dividend, while the denominator is always our divisor. So in this case, 5 here is our dividend, meaning we are dividing 5. And we are dividing this 5 by this 8. And 8 is our divisor. So the dividend being 5 is what we are going to put inside here. We put it inside and we use our divisor outside, that's 8. And we start. 8 goes into 5. 8 goes into 5. Zoe. Zoe
8.
goes into 5. Okay.
8 can go into 5 now.
Everybody try to solve that, and then I'll be back in just 1 minute. Try to solve that. I'll get your answer. Praises of the Lord in this place. Okay. So who has an answer to this long division?
So I've gotten my answer.
Okay, Nora, what's your answer?
0.625.
0.625. I need to check my pen. Okay, another person that has an answer. Who again has an answer? Only Nora has 0.625. Okay, guys, let me check my biro, my pen.
Sir.
Yes. What's the answer? Hmm. Okay, so that was a network interruption. So we are good. Nora, I was about taking your answer. Yes, Nora. And you're gonna call that answer again. So Nora,
Okay, so
What's your answer?
My answer is 0.625.
625. Who again has an answer? No other person, only Nora has an answer. Okay, so let's try. Now, what we're going to do will be for us to divide using long division method. Don't use your calculator to punch. I don't know. Nora, did you use calculator to punch?
No, sir.
Okay, so when I see you're solving next time, let's see if you're correct. So we just say 8 goes into 5. It cannot, because 5 is too small. So we fix a 0 here, fix a 0 here, and fix a point. When we fix a point, we now add 0 to this 5. When we add 0 to this 5, it becomes 15. So we can now say 8 goes into 50. 8 goes into 50. How many times? It will be 6 times. It will be 6 times. 6 times 8 will give us 48. We subtract this. 50 minus 48, just by saying borrow 1 here and add to 0 becomes 10. 10 minus 8 is 2, and here is nothing. So now 8 goes into 2 cannot. We add 0. When we add 0 here, because we fix a point here already, we don't need to write 0, fix a point again. We can go ahead to add 0. And now we now say 8 goes into 20. How many times? That will be 2 times. And we now say 2 times that 8 is what? 16. We subtract 20 minus 16. 0, 1 add here, that is 4. We add another 0 to this 4, and it becomes 40. 8 into 40, how many times? 5 times. Now 8 times this 5 will give us what? Will give us still 40.
Sir.
Yes. Yes, go ahead. Who is that?
Oh, God.
Go ahead. Go
Sir.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Nora.
Sir, I solved it on my book.
Yes, you can off your camera. You can off your camera.
Okay.
So we now say 40. Now say 40 minus 40. That is 0. So your answer is what you have on top here. And then you're going to write it out. Write your answer out. That the decimal form of that is 0.625. And then checking this out, Nora was correct. So guys, write down this, and then we're going to take another example. We're going to take another example before we will be given class work on this. Okay. Now, there is another method that we can use in changing to decimal, and that will be for us to convert the, let's take example 2 so we can understand. Example 2, and the question is for us to convert 3/4 to decimal. That's the question. It says convert, and what we are asked to convert is, we are asked to convert 3/4, and what are we to convert to decimal. So convert 3/4 to decimal. I want to show you another method that you can use to solve, and that will be changing the decimal to solution. Let's take solution to this. Solution to this. The method here will be for us to changing the denominator changing the denominator to, can change the denominator to any of these set of numbers. You can change it to 10. If you don't change it to 10, you can change it to 100. If you don't change it to 100, you can change it to 1,000. You can change it to 10,000 and the rest. So how to change? You will now look for a number. Think of a number from 3/4. Think of a number that you can multiply with. You can multiply with the denominator to have either 10, 100, or 1,000. Which number can we multiply with 4 to give us 10? Is it possible? No, it's not possible.
No, sir.
Yeah, it's not possible.
There'll always be a reminder.
Yeah, there will always be a remainder. Which number can we multiply with 4 to give us? We now move to the next one. Which number can we multiply with 4 to give us 100?
25.
Who is that? Nora?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's keep that your answer, 25. Which other person has an answer? Which number can we multiply with 4 to give us 100?
25.
Who is that?
It's Mary.
Mary is a latecomer to class today, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Mary is a latecomer, and it's bad. It's bad. Okay, but latecomer also added 25, and 25 is correct. Mary and Nora, they are correct. If you multiply 25 by 4, that's a 4 into 5. That is 20. 0 carry 2. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10, making it 100. So it's going to be 25. So since it is 25, we are going to multiply both the denominator with that 25, and we're also going to multiply the numerator with that 25. What we are doing to the denominator, we do to the numerator, and we are going to have a new fraction that is the same. Any fraction we are going to have here is the same with this other 3/4, and that gives us what we call equivalent fraction. So multiplying this out, 3 times 5, just go to your rough book. 3 times 25, you just say 25. 3 times 5 is 15, carry 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is
75.
75. Yes, so here we have 75 all over. Of course, we did this one, so here is 100. That's not the final answer, because that's still a fraction. This is still a fraction. It's not the final answer, so we need to change it to a final. You need to change it to a decimal. Who is that? Who is that? Don't tell me you're tired. Don't tell me you're tired. We still have 15 minutes more. Okay, so now I told you something the other time, that each natural number, your 1, your 2, each number 3, and the rest, even this 75. We said that each number, there's always a decimal point in front of numbers that is not always seen. It's not always seen. So this number here has a decimal point. And when we are dividing a number, for example, if you are dividing 5, you are dividing 5. Okay, told us that we still have 15 more minutes. If you are dividing 5 by 10, for instance, dividing 5 by 10. Since it is 10, there is a decimal point here. We are going to move the decimal point one place to the back, and we fix the decimal point here. So the answer is 0.5, but we cannot write 0.5. We're going to add 0 to guide that point. If it was 12/100, what will be the new answer? We are going to move the decimal point. You're going to move the decimal point. It's 2 zeros. 2 zeros, 1, 2. We are going to move the decimal point 2 places to the back. 1, 2. And the new answer will now be, it should now be 0.12. But we cannot write 0.12. So we're going to bring in a 0 to add it up, and it becomes 0.12.
I can't see the screen.
Okay, so just touch the screen and take it upward. Zoom it upward, or drag it upward. It will come up. it will come up. And always try to pin my own screen, pin my own screen down so nobody takes my screen out during the class. Okay, so in this case, the decimal point is here, so you're going to move it 2 places to the back. So we move it 1, 2. The new point will be here, and that is 0.75. But we cannot write 0.75. We need to bring the zeros to guide that point. It becomes 0.75. So this method of you making the denominator to become 10, to become 100, or 1000, this is the method. Just multiply the denominator with any number that will turn it to 100. In this case, it was 25. And when you multiply it, also multiply the numerator. So it was 3 times 25, which gave us 75, and 4 times 25, which gave us 100. And the new fraction that is equivalent became 75 over 100. And we just say that the easiest way to divide a number that has 10, 100, 1000, 10,000 as their denominator is to count the zeros. So count the zeros and then move the decimal point to the numbers of zeros backward. The numbers of zeros here is 2. We moved it 2 places backward. 1, 2, fix a point. And then we guided that our point is 0. It became 0.75. Okay? Guys, write that down. Write that down because I'm going to clear my screen.
Sure, I'm done.
All right. Now, there's another thing that we can do. We can also change a number from decimal back to fraction. So let us take something on that. Changing a number from decimal back to fraction. Yes, let us see what we can do there. You've just seen how to change. You've just seen how to change. I don't know who are these people. You mute your mic when you want to do some certain things like that. Mute your mic. Okay, let me take off everything at once that I needed to. All right. Need to see how to convert a decimal back to fraction. So let's see how to now say converting decimal to a fraction. Converting decimal to a fraction. Okay. And there's some steps that we need to follow. That decimal, we are going to say divided by 1, and then, okay, let's just take an example. Let's take an example. The question is that one that we just finished converting, assuming convert, and the number is 0.75, and we are to convert it to a fraction. To convert it to a fraction, and quickly we're going to take our solution. The first thing that we are going to do will be for us to write that number down. All numbers. I said it like, okay, I just mentioned the other one, 1, 2, 3, and so on. all the numbers, I said it just in the last example, that each of these numbers always have decimal in their front, decimal points in their front that is not always being seen. Another thing that I need to add up there is that each of these numbers is always all over 1. So this one is 1 over 1, 2 is 2 over 1, 3 is 3 over 1. So even this 0.75, even the 0.75 will also be over 1. So first thing is for us to write this as in a fraction form. That is still the same. So 0.7. Yes.
So I can't see your screen.
Please, if you can't see the screen, just do me a favor, touch it and then shift it to the left or the right. Just shift to the left or the right. And then try to pin it down. Okay, solution. Let's have step 1. Let me write the step. Step 1 is for us to write down 0.75 as divided by 1, just as divided by 1. So say write down this number 0.75 divided by 1. Divided by 1. And what that means is becomes 0.75 all over 1. We have done step 1. And then step 2, we have to multiply both the top and the bottom by 100, because why? There are 2 digits after decimal. So you are going to, after writing this one down, you take step 2. Step 2, you look at how many places of decimal does this decimal have. This decimal have 2 places of decimal. So you are going to multiply it by, for one place of decimal, you multiply it with 10. For 2 places of decimal, you multiply with 100. If it is 3 places of decimal, you multiply with 1000, and so on and so forth. So place of decimal of this number is 2. 7 after the decimal point, we have 1, 2. So you are going to multiply both the top and the bottom with 100. So it becomes 0.7. Okay, let's write it down. Let's write that instruction down. So now say multiply both the numerator and denominator with 100. And the reason is because the decimal okay, I'll continue that writing up here. What I'm to say is that the decimal has 2 digits after the decimal point. Okay, you just say because, yes. Let's take this out of the way. Okay, so because the decimal has 2 digits after the point. So now we're going to write it out, that's step 2 out. The step 1 was for us to write it out as 0.75 all over 1. That was step 1. Now we're now going to go to our step 2. This was step 1. Step 2 now will be for us to multiply it, the numerator, with 100, and then multiply the denominator with 100. And then multiplying this with 100. When you are multiplying a decimal point, when you're multiplying a decimal point multiplication, what you do to the decimal point, you move the decimal point forward. Move the decimal point forward. But how many places forward are you going to multiply? When you're multiplying with 10, you move it one place forward. When you're multiplying with 100, you move it 2 places forward. When you're multiplying with 1,000, you move it 3 places forward. Division, you move it backward. So since we are multiplying, we are going to move our decimal points to the front. So that will become the 0. Here will become the 0.75. We will now become, move the decimal points forward. That is 1, 2. Fix a new point there. And of course, our denominator, that is 1 times 100. 1 times 100 will give us 100. Since we move the decimal point to the front, the answer now would be 0.75. But there's no need of us writing the 0. There's no need. So you're not going to write the 0. You just ignore the 0 and call it 75. That's not the final answer. The denominator is 100, so we say 75 over 100. 75 over 100. So that method that's what we use in writing a decimal like this as a fraction. I go through the step again. The first step when you're asked to convert a decimal like this to a fraction is for you to write down the decimal and then divide that decimal by 1. We did it here. That decimal, we now wrote it as a fraction over 1, which is the same thing as 0.75. The next thing was for us to multiply both the numerator and denominator by 100. Why is it by 100? Because this decimal that we are asking the question has 2 places of decimal. How do we know the place of decimal? You count the digits after the decimal point. Digit is 1, 2, so it's 2 places of decimal, and we are going to multiply with a number 100 because 100 has 2 zeros also. So we multiply both the numerator, multiply the denominator with 100. When we multiply, we just said it that when you're multiplying a number with 10, you move the decimal point 1 place to the front. If it is 100, 2 places. If it is 1,000, 3 places. So it is 100, and we are moving it 2 places to the front. Okay, so class will end in the next 1 minute, and after that, when the class ends, just stay in the class. You are going to receive your assignment. You are going to receive your assignment. Okay, we extend the class. Just stay. We extend the class for a few minutes. So you move the decimal point 2 places to the front. So we just moved it here. From here, we move it 1, 2, and the point is here. No need for us to write the point again. It was 0.75, but we said no need to call it 0.75. We just call it 75. And 1 times 100 is 100, and we have it. We have it here. I don't know if there's any question. If there's any question there, someone can ask before we continue. Any question?
No.
Okay. So we told that the class will end in a minute. So please just stay put. Just stay put. You are going to receive a new link for continuation.